Everything is on, and it shouldn't be moving in full gear like the name of this pay-per-view implies, but I'm really just not finding that to be the case right now with the way AEW has been. In fact, there's just two of us in here right now. But honestly, I don't know if I can blame the rest of them. I mean, beyond life as well. AEW, it feels like ever since the TV deal that they got, they have been stuck in cruise control mode and know they don't have to try. So, I don't know. The weekly TV product is not delivered. And all of a sudden, with this pay per view, while it probably won't be a bad one per se, I'm just not as excited as I probably should be for maybe a few things, but the majority of this, I don't know. Some of it feels like random stuff, some of it feels drawn out, and one match in particular they completely and utterly got all wrong. So if I get a bit feisty here, I do apologize in advance. Oh no, I don't. What am I saying? I need to let this out. This is my venting. My, I guess, monthly therapy session about
I
wrestling.
I don't want to try
That's
anymore.
not how it goes, Dean, but I know how you feel. Yeah. Yes, I'm Coffee Lover 239, and of course, that was our resident John Moxley stan, though I don't know for how much longer, Steven.
Motherfuckers,
Yeah.
hello.
Oh god, and you want to reference Maki Ito, dude. Oh, hold on, I gotta message someone here. Hold on. Laugh, pal. There we go. I just had to make sure old Sheepster knew that we were here because he wanted to watch, so yeah. Oh god, if Maki Ito was in this whirlwind of craziness, it'd be even more crazy. But we don't have other time, and since it's us two, let's just get what we can get through, starting with this sudden last-minute addition. Deonna Purrazzo versus Anna Jay. Now, I know these two have been feuding on TV for a little bit, but shit, man, this... It feels like they should be higher up in the women's division, but I don't know. There's further complaints I have, but I gotta save the rants for when they matter. So, yeah, Diener, who you got?
Uh, Deanna Palazzo.
Yeah, I'll go with Deonna Purrazzo as well. I'm not hugely invested in this, so yeah. Now we get to the shit that actually has background. Starting with, oh god darn it! Big Boom AJ with his son Big Justice.
And
I
wait, don't forget with the Whistler.
no
You gotta do the
no
damn
shut
the
up with
Whistler.
that. And then fucking QT Marshall.
As the MJF would say,
Mid. This was announced on October 28th that this match would happen on the fucking pre-show. And yes, the Rizzler, whoever the fuck that is the frickin' special guest timekeeper. Yeah, because that's what we need, right? No. Who the hell even are these guys? Well, they're nicknamed the Costco guys. AJ Big Boom and his son, Big Justice. They're known as the Costco guys because of their videos on TikTok and YouTube about Costco. They apparently have more than 2 million followers on TikTok, management company night, and released their debut single, Boom, We Bring the Boom. Motherfucker, POD brings the boom better than you. Shit, fucking. There was a certain. Hold on a minute. I just need to get this right before I even, Yeah. Fucking Kevin James brings the boom more than you, Bozo de Jors, and Dumb and Dumber. Oh, and apparently old AJ here has actually been wrestling on the indies for longer than you realized. Unfortunately, unfortunately, they have to do it at the absolute worst time when... Okay, I'm genuinely asking this. Who is this actually supposed to appeal to? I doubt many casuals even know who these guys are. The diehards of us who have been here since day one with this company have to suffer through something that TK wants for himself, but the rest of us are like, what? And apparently, oh my, wait, it's a child social media personality named that. What? the more I read about this, the more I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind. So you know what? This is a fucking throwaway match. So Diener,
Before I say my pick, this one must be when Braun Strowman and Nicholas won the tag team champions.
oh, don't even remind me of that. It's not like Big
But
Justice is actually getting in the ring.
point. Gotta go with. I don't. Why do I even need to predict this one? But I don't fucking know, man. I
Just,
hate both of them.
just
Costco
pick.
guy.
There you
Costco
go,
guy.
Costco guy. Yeah, fucking Costco guy. Cause now we can get to the shit that actually matters. And oh, you motherfucker! I just got done with one rant somewhat. You really want me to unleash the gloves this early? Okay, the gloves are off this early. No more Mr. Nice Guy. MJF versus Roderick fucking Strong. If there is one feud, if there's one feud that should have been one for the ages, that should have gone down as one of the all-time great feuds in AEW, it should have been MJF versus Adam Cole. They had everything. They had the build. They had Adam Cole breaking MJF a little out of his shell, doing some things that got over, like the kangaroo kick and the double clothesline and shit. And we had some good times with that. We had some good times, and then we started planting the seeds for a little betrayal later down the line. At last, somewhere in that betrayal, Adam Cole hurt himself. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. And then, it was at last year's World's End around this time when we had the big frickin' betrayal here. When finally it was revealed that Adam Cole was the devil the entire time and formed his own little band of misfits in the Undisputed Kingdom, which have absolutely and utterly flopped, by the way. And so, lo and behold, Roddy still tried to get to Adam Cole about this, or rather, this, or so we thought, but no, they thought MJF would turn. Surprisingly, it was Adam Cole. Then Cole is injured still and is out for a long ass time and only came back this fall. MJF is also on and off TV doing other things because he was filming movies. He's going to be in Happy Gilmore too. Look forward to that whenever. So on the October 23rd episode of Dynamite, Adam Cole was interrupted by Roderick Strong, Mac Taven, and Mike Bennett. I should purposely point out, by the way, that when Adam Cole and MJF came back, they switched roles. MJF was supposed to be the sympathetic babyface as he had lost so much thanks to Adam Cole's betrayal, and Adam Cole cemented himself as even more of a scumbag than MJF. But no! No! They completely and utterly screw up the heel and face dynamics. This should be so simple to keep track of. Like, I don't get it. What, you want to make him a face just because he's been gone long enough? No, that's not. No, that's not how it fucking works. I mean, shit. After that fucking ordeal when Ciampa came back here, when he turned on Johnny Gargano the first time in 2017, and came back much later after that, having his surgery, did he fucking go face and Gargano go heel? No. No, 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 no. You see, that's called booking continuity, something that these jokers forgot how to remember. So yes, Strong came to Cole with the idea to take out MJF because yes, they're real friends, and he said they needed to finish the job on him. And Cole once again challenged MJF to come out, but yet another video package. Here's another thing that hurt it. MJF basically being not even actually doing the damn thing in person. Like, even he knows this has to be a stinker and is fizzled out. So why bother? Because it's just going to drag his stock down even further. And he got to reiterate that he would not be facing Cole, even though that should be the logical fucking conclusion, but he laid out terms for a potential match. He said he'd either face either of them, and they had to win 3 matches. Whoever won first would be so. Cole won his first match against Buddy Matthews, and he defeated Malachi Black. So you think he faced Brody King? No. Then on Collision, the show that no one's giving a crap about, Strong defeats Shane Taylor, and then Strong defeats the Beast Mortos. As if anyone should give a shit.
The way you said that.
Yeah. And then lo and behold, suddenly rules were changed somewhere. Cole loses to Takeshita here, and Strong defeats Archer for some fucking reason. So it's not MJF versus Adam Cole, it's MJF versus Adam Roderick Strong. I have a suspicious feeling as to why they're doing it like this, is that they realize, oh shit, maybe we should save the actual match for World's End because that's where the betrayal initially happened. But is it really worth dragging this shit out any longer? This whole thing is fizzled out, riddled by injury problems, which I'm not going to hold against TK because, shit happens. I'm not going to hold them against that, but I'll hold them against switching dynamics when they didn't even need to be, shoehorning the kingdom in when really they're just fucking supporting characters at this point, not tapping into the actual shit I talked about that led to all of this. And honestly, this whole thing has dragged both MJF and Adam Cole's stock down, basically. Cole has not been the same since he came back. And I know he's gone through some personal shit. Him and Britt Baker broke up, which I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to hear that. It sucks. It really fucking does. But jeez, it's like, I wonder if even he knows that this whole thing is fizzled out and he's just trying to get by. I don't fucking know anymore. I don't fucking know. Ugh. Come on, Dean.
I got MJF.
Of course, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, because he's better than this fucking storyline and we all know it. Now we have Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. So at Wrestle Dream, Jay White defeated Hangman Page, and the following week at Collision, a rematch was set up. There's not much more I guess I can say about that. That previous match they had was a banger. This one should be a banger. So, who you got? Excuse me.
I got Jay White.
I'm actually going to flip opposite on Hangman Page, seeing as how TK is slipping into VKM 2.0 minus all the bad shit about VKM. I wouldn't be surprised. For some reason this thing just randomly shut down here. Sorry about that. Aha! Okay, hold on a second. I need to make sure this is good. Okay, it's back. Sorry about that, people. We had a small little misconnect. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, Dean said Jay White. I said Hangman Page because 50-50 booking. I'm expecting that to be a common thing now here. Or not, I don't know. I can't predict the future. I can certainly predict this match here. So, it's Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, versus the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, versus the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King, versus The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. A four-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. It's actually nice, finally, by the way, to have a match where a tag match that actually showcases more of the tag division and less on the bucks of youth. So yeah, I mean, Private Party are the champs. I'm happy for them and all, but I don't know what else to expect beyond that or any plans afterwards. The Acclaimed have had their day in the sun. Kings of the Black Throne are elsewhere, and the Outrunners are the Outrunners. So yeah, it'll be fine, but I don't know. Not much story. But then again, I'll just throw a mulligan for this one since I like all the teams in here. Yeah, who you got?
Private Party. I think they'll retain.
Yeah, I think it's too early for them to lose the belts. How long have they been champs anyways? I'm curious. They have been champs. Oh, they only won them for like less than a month. Yeah, Private Party to retain. And then maybe by the time we get to Double or Nothing, we can crown new tag champs. Next. Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. On the October 4th episode of Rampage, Chris Statlander was confronted by Mercedes Moné and her bodyguard Camille, with Moné insulting Statlander. At Fright Night Dynamite, Statlander defeated Camille only for money to attack Statlander from behind, and the match between the two was made for a Full Gear with Money's TBS Championship on the line. And Sheepster says, Chris, gonna be honest, I think we're well past the honeymoon period for Mercedes, and we heard talk when she was coming in that everything was going to be different, a change. But honestly, it feels like the women's division is stuck there. She just feels like another face in there. She's not special anymore. In fact, some people have accused her actually of an ego, basically, for that, wanting out in the first place. When that whole walkout initially happened a couple years back, while Naomi actually, she was genuinely frustrated with creative. I mean, shit. When she did go to Impact for a brief time. I don't know if anyone really remembers that. It was a very interesting period, but yes, very short run. But yeah, she even won the TNA Knockouts World Championship once, so that was kind of cool. But here, I don't know. Thank you for those other predictions. Yeah, so because Sheeps are saying QT, MJF, and Jay White. He said the Outrunners for that. Chris for this. Who you got, Dean?
I got money.
Well, she's been TBS champion since May 26, and as much as I wish Statlander would actually win again, it would be her second run. I have a bad feeling Mercedes Moné is still going to retain that belt well past it, because now we're at the point of dragging out title reigns longer than they need to be, unfortunately. So I'm going with Mercedes on that. Swerve Strickland, and do we love Bobby Lashley, man? So, Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin debut in AEW as the Hurt Syndicate. And as soon as they made their debut, they tried to encroach on former world champion Swerve Strickland. However, Swerve's a little bit more hesitant to join. Despite all this shit, he's still holding on. And so, lo and behold, by the way, now we've come to the point where these two men are about to tussle. Damn it, Bobby. I don't know. It is what it is, but I mean, there's really not much more to say. I feel like that's a lot of case for a lot of these matches. Go on, Dean.
Um, I really wanted to win, but you know, but Bobby, I want Swerve to win, but it's gonna
I
be
know,
Bobby.
man. I gotta agree. This is Bobby's first AEW pay-per-view, and I don't think he's gonna lose his first match on pay-per-view, even though, yeah, he already wrestled on free TV squashing jobbers, which seems redundant, but what are you gonna do? Who's gonna tell TK otherwise? Oh, I know who, but we don't have time for that. We do have time for Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. Anything? Here it is. So at Wrestle Dream, Daniel Garcia returned and confronted Jack Perry, who defeated Katsuyori Shibata, to retain the AEW TNT Championship, only to be confronted himself by a returning MJF. While Garcia's back was turned, Perry hit him with the title belt and walked away. Then in the November 9th episode of Collision, Perry defeated Action Andretti to retain the TNT Championship. Garcia confronted Perry once again and challenged him to a match at Full Gear with the championship on the line, which Perry accepted. I mean, what more? Sheepster said Swerve, by the way. I mean, what more can I really say? I don't know. How long has he been TNT champion for? He won it on June 30th.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh, hey,
hello, Quijam. Quick,
What did I miss?
lightning round. Okay, first,
Oh,
Gianna
God.
Purrazzo versus Anna Jay.
Oh, Anna J, easily.
And then Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall.
I say oh, gee, who's Big? Is this Colt Cabana Big Boom
No,
or
it's-
the
no,
Costco guy booked Big
Costco
Boom?
guy.
Costco guy.
And MJF versus Roderick Strong.
Oh, MJF all day.
Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page.
No contest.
Really?
No contest. They
Oh,
both evenly cancel each other out. Either that or DQ.
okay. Let's see what happens then. Let's see. Private Party, Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed.
Kings of the Black Throne, easily.
Ooh, interesting choice there. Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander.
Monet with interference.
Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley.
Ooh, I say, God, that's a hard one. I'll go with Bobby Lashley.
All right. His Sheepster, by the way, said Anna J. Earlier from there, yeah. Okay, which finally catches us up to where we were when you finally made your appearance. Yes.
It's in the world. It's Quiet Jam. We missed you, Quiet
Yeah.
Jam.
Okay, you're such a liar.
Hey, what? It was kind of getting slow around here, and we were gonna break a speed running
Oh,
record.
I mean,
but
it's
never
Dean. He's
mind.
always slow. What are you talking about?
Never mind that. Okay, now we're on Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia. I don't know. It feels so sudden to take the belt off Jack Perry, and quite frankly, while the Bucks of Youth are away, he's our only real bet. Well, him and Okada, but I think Okada seems to be a non-factor on this pay-per-view, which is kind of shocking. But man, what are you gonna do, Diener?
I gotta go with Daniel Garcia.
Ooh, you countering there. I see. What says you, Quiet Jam?
Oh, this is the most well-built match of the entirety of this pay-per-view. And I'm not making any bones about it. You've seen the effort they put into this. It's the only thing, other than people wanting to see, the obligatory Osprey and Takeshita flipathon, and then of course the Ricochet flavor of that.
We'll
So they
soon.
put so much work into this feud. It's like the best built thing in this whole thing. And I'm still going to maintain that this pay-per-view cohesively will be the weakest Full Gear we've had in 5 years.
You could say
It
that
will be.
again.
So I say, I mean, DG needs to earn this. He's earned this, and he did not do enough in this brilliant build to substantiate him winning the TNT title off Jack Perry. Perry is still fresh, so I think Perry, with a little bit of interference, Perry will retain. It has to be. He has to keep this title. You can't throw it on to DG. Then that defeats the purpose. Right. So the build, the feud build does not just there's not enough there for DG to get this title. So keep it on Perry.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, man. As much as I wish Daniel Garcia would get a title to establish himself in the mid-card scene before moving up to the main event, because you know TK badly wants that to happen. Yeah, I don't know. It still feels so early, so Jack Perry on this one. Next, oh shit. Alright, pay attention to the bottom left of the screen, because this is all I could find for this match.
All I see is my belly button, but okay.
No.
Quiet Jam.
Talking about Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
Oh, flippy shit part 1. Okay, cool.
Well, Will Ospreay had been stuck in the whole Callis family for some time, and Kyle Fletcher gets roped into this shit, unfortunately.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to note in that sentence. He's been in and out, but he hasn't given the impression of being in and out.
Right.
Ospreay. He's like friends. He's not friends. He's friends again. That is one of the biggest dead zone of limbos of creative stuff that AEW's done here.
Right.
With Ospreay.
Not to mention, Kyle Fletcher has officially turned on his.
He's officially the brightest. He's officially the brightest up and coming guy in AEW next to DG.
Well, that's
literally is.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I guess so to a degree.
There is no guess. There is. He is. He's the brightest thing to be coming up in AEW that's come out of the Callis family. The first was Ospreay, and now it's him.
Right. Yeah. Now.
So that's my point.
Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think there's no description here, but we don't need one. It's flippity flipping men doing flippity flipping things. Hey, there we go. Maybe we should put that on a T-shirt. Don't do that, Dean. Jesse does that enough here. Don't
do you talk to Jesse like in BC still?
Yeah. And now you've picked up he's picked up a bad habit of you, and that needs to stop. What's not going to stop is flippity flipping men doing flippity flipping things. Now put that on a T-shirt and make some money. Hey, we should maybe do that before.
You wear a shirt?
What the hell is wrong with you? You okay, Dean?
All right.
I said, Dean, you're first.
Yeah, you're first, Dane.
Oh, Will Ospreay.
Okay, now Kwai Jam.
Uh, if you're gonna separate, if you're gonna finally do this back and forth, like I said, no Osprey affirmative. I'm in the Callis or not the Callis family. And you're gonna cement. I mean, they gave Takeshita the international title, and if you wanna give a accolade or a prestige to Fletcher, you have him win clean over Osprey, which I highly don't see happening. Callis is gonna be at ringside. He's gonna have the screwdriver. He is going to try to interfere as much as he can in this match. But I think for the sake of Osprey helping Fletcher get over, or at least to catapult him, I'm going with Fletcher on this one.
Ooh,
I usually go with Osprey with no question, but given how well he has done in promo in a singles push right now, I say Fletcher over Osprey.
bold choice, man. Bold.
It's not bold. It makes the most logical sense.
You know what? I agree with that. That's why I'm also gonna go with Fletcher on this one. So let's actually get back to actual matches that are there. Konosuke Takeshita versus Ricochet, AEW International Championship. So, shit.
Flippy shit, part 2.
Yeah, let's just take what I said about. It doesn't look like there's even any background here again, but again, take what I said about part 1. Flippity flipping men doing flippity flipping things. One half of the Japanese variety as well, and voila.
Cursing. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
You said flippity flippity. I mean, some people consider that a curse.
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's meant for.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Dean.
I got Takeshita.
And what about you, Kwai Jam?
Okay, so this is him and Ricochet. Okay.
Yes.
This has been a tandem storyline angle that they've done in the same. They did 2 angles in 1 year. They did, of course, the just mentioned Osprey and Kyle Fletcher in the same stratosphere as this push. And again, Takeshita was the first bored fruit of the Callis family of a guy up and coming. We could tell from the beginning when Takeshita first came to AEW that this guy was the ace of DDT Pro, a la Kenny Omega. So why? And he finally gets a title after such a long wait, And he's like he's the alpha. He's certainly the alpha now. He has got that credo. But then you got Ricochet, who's been clawing to, get some accolade. But I don't think Ricochet is at a point yet where he needs it. He doesn't need a title to get him. He's already babyface. He's already hot, So again, I'm going with the same kind of finish with, Callis interference with Takeshita. Or I think it's going to be more Takeshita using the interference from Callis than Callis doing the thing. So I say, like I said, I did not see enough in this case from Takeshita from the other guy, from Ricochet, to necessitate him needing a title. So common sense dictates here that Takeshita retains.
All right. And
that's the most logical, common sense thing that they need to do.
It's too early for Ricochet. It really is.
It's way too early. He's not even got the fresh car smell off him.
Yeah, I think.
So there you go.
Yeah, Konosuke Takeshita will retain, which finally leads us into the main event of what might be the other most fumbled storyline so far going into this pay-per-view in this company's history. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. So, Jon Moxley defeated Bryan Danielson at WrestleDream on October 12th to win the World Championship, not only for the 4th time, but make Danielson retire for good. Not to mention, him and his Blackpool Combat Club stablemates attacked Danielson and even basically try to recreate Manhunt in real life. Specifically the kill where you can use a plastic bag. I see, hold down that button the longer and really make it more vicious, you sick bastards. Eventually, Orange Cassidy and most of the AEW locker room came out to Danielson's rescue, which caused Moxley and his stablemates to retreat. The BCC officially have become the Death Riders. On the October 23rd episode of Dynamite, Moxley and his stablemates attacked Cassidy's former best friend stablemate Chuck Taylor before Moxley's stablemates placed a steel chair around Taylor's neck to break before Moxley stopped on it. And then Cassidy ran out, and most of the locker room as well did as a result, which caused Moxley and his stablemates to leave. Friday Night Dynamite on October 30th, Cassidy opened the show and challenged Moxley for his match for his championship at Full Gear, which was later made official. Orange Cassidy, the savior right now. Who'd have thunk all that hyping up over all these years would eventually lead to this? In a storyline that has been filled with cryptic shit, not much actual change, and by and large, I feel like...
Fuck you, Cryjam.
What are you doing, dude?
Nothing.
I
Nothing at
saw
all.
that. Yeah, that's what you're telling me now, but my eyes show me differently.
Well, at least you're well connected.
I don't know. I have no idea anymore what is even going on with this nonsense here. I feel like eventually we need some big progression sooner or later, because this storyline is ice cold right now. And we've had glimpses of here and there, but nothing substantial enough to actually warrant something big. At this point, even bringing in Shane McMahon's not going to save this. I don't know.
Well, once I get to my piece, I think it could. But it's late. It's too late into this development to have the shock value that I could otherwise have at the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, it just feels like Cassidy's about to be another fucking filed away name that Moxley annihilated like he did with Danielson. Dean! Alright, who do you got?
Takeshita.
Hey.
What?
Oh wait, John Moxley.
There you go. Now what says you, Jam?
Okay, this was now it's been reported on several dear sheets that this is John Moxley expressing his full creative control, which not many people knew he had in his original contract with AEW.
I thought that was more honest.
No, dude, like 3 dirt sheet things alone reported that Moxley is using and flexing his creative control here in this big angle, which was his idea. So this was not Tony Khan was playing along with it, but this was supposed to be the hot angle for Full Gear, but there was no. The logical thinking was Moxley. They're going to come in. They're an invading force. He's basically recycling what WCW took from New Japan back in the day, when you had that big faction of black shirted heels destroying the New Japan roster at the time, like Gran Hanada and all these other guys.
And then they brought
Muda was about to be part of that, but they didn't use him. And then they westernized it with the NWO, and then if you want to talk about the most modern permutation, let's talk about Bullet Club in New Japan. They were just a group of marauding heels that come in with no rhyme or reason to destroy, and to get all the titles and to have all the power. Now, Moxley's trying to replicate this in AEW with his faction. Very, very mixed results, because the logical things that the smart marks were hoping for have not come to fruition. Now, I think using Orange Cassidy was three of the biggest baby faces next to DG and Darby Allin that were supposed to be the saving graces of the AEW roster and the company to protect it against this new invading force.
But DG is occupied currently.
I know, but let me finish my thought.
Continue.
I know, but let me finish my thought here.
Continue.
Now, the big thing that they're going to do here, which would make the most common sense because this gentleman has never been a heel and has been one of the proverbial pillars of AEW since its inception, is the totally third party Darby Allin, who has been having matches back and forth with several members of the Death Riders, going from Claudio to Wheeler Yuta, and have had not much success in either beating them and this is mostly in backstage vignettes, okay, of him being beaten up and destroyed. But most recently, he had a match with Claudio, so that was the first time that they met each other. And Darby, of course, got crashed and burned and lost. Now, what they're trying to do here is two-pronged. They're trying to have Darby get the shock value of going heel and joining Moxley's group, which is the most uncharacteristic thing that he could do.
Oh God, no! Please.
And this is what
no.
this is the main end game of this whole thing. This is what Moxley's shooting for. This is what Tony Khan is shooting for. This is what AEW wants to do. They want to finally take the fourth final babyface pillar, who had always been a company man, who had never fought against the company, who had never gone against his own character, turn on his fellow stablemate of OC, who is the same, maybe not so animated enough to have been like him, but is one of the three babyface torch bearers of AEW. So what the most sense would be here is that Darby comes in and decides to interfere after seeing Moxley's group at ringside, Shafir, Claudio, Pac, whatever you want, come in and interfere the match to solidify Moxley having to win. The most logical thing that would happen here is some of the AEW roster comes down and clears them out of the ringside area. You know what I mean? Like the Dark Order and all of them. And then what happens is Moxley starts getting a 1 minute up on OC, but OC is most resilient next to Darby Allin in the ring, so he will be able to hang with Moxley. But what I think is going to happen here is either be after the match or during the match, and I think it's more effective during the match than after the match, is that Darby comes down to play the equalizer. You know what I mean? On helping OC win the title off Moxley, thus taking the power off of the Death Riders, but purposely costs the match of OC. And then the crowd is completely befuddled by this. And then don't get me started about the commentators being completely kerfuffled by this too in the same process. But Moxley retains. And then after the match, Darby Allin's real intentions is shown that he is part of the Death Riders. And the final domino of the strong baby faces falls. And then, God forbid, I mean, the only thing they could really do to make this, this is the point I'm trying to make when I get to my point, is the only real carrot that they can dangle in front of AEW is if they bring Shane McMahon in now and have him having been abducted by the Death Riders, and that they make a threat that if Moxley does not retain the title, that they kill Shane McMahon.
Oh God.
And that's increasing your risk there. Okay, doing that, having him say, I mean, this is an angle that they could pull later on once Moxley comes out for the post Dynamite, and he goes, oh, by the way, Darby abducted somebody who you might all know, and ends up being Shane McMahon in a chair tied, and then you dangle that as your new risk factor. But Darby is now officially a heel. And nobody will be able to believe this. This is the most polarizing thing they could do, unless they decide to they flip it. You know how they flip it? They have Darby come out and be the equalizer, but he continues to be a face. And guess who ends up turning other than OC? It ends up being... it doesn't end up being Darby. It ends up being OC. So they could flip this.
Shit.
And nobody would expect to see OC costing him his own opportunity at the AEW title, unless OC, who has been wearing dark denim, joins the Death Rider. So they could go two directions here. I think the most polarizing could be Darby, and the most effective would be Darby, but they could pull the proverbial carpet from under us and go with OC costing himself his own title so that they could get a Darby Allin. And then you have the new Death Riders OC in a feud with Darby Allin, which, when you think about it, gives more real estate, gives us more extension here, and could make the storyline a little more, have more longevity. So I say Moxley retains, but Darby Allin costs the title from OC, and then he flips heel and joins the Death Riders. And then there's your last domino of AEW's baby faces falling. I mean, DG will end up remaining, and OC will be the last baby face that they have. So that's how I would do it.
Wow, that is a lot.
So that's why I wanted to go into great detail, because they could go either way. do they want to go OC being the polarizing one, or do they want to go with Darby Allin being the polarizing one? Because Darby's been the one, him and OC have been equally beaten up by the Death Riders in their own measure. But who's more intriguing and more, I say Darby Allin more than OC. So that's why I would go with Darby Allin.
You certainly put a lot of thought into this. More
I
than
do.
whatever they
I do.
realize
This is
they
common
have.
sense, dude. This is common sense. They could call an audible and go with OC. I mean, they already did this by having OC get the title shot, you know?
Mhm.
Because if I had my way, I would have reversed it. I would have had the title shot be, you know, Darby Allin against Moxley again, but this time, you know, they
Right.
put the strap on Darby, but Darby is part of the Death Rider, so the title never
I actually
leaves.
forgot to mention during the Takeshita match. I forgot to say I hope we get Takeshita versus Speedball, and I
Sure
hope
we
Speedball
will.
comes
That's
to.
not going to be till at least January, dude.
Yeah,
they're not going to
yeah.
make. They're not going to make the Continental Classic.
Yeah, I'm going with John Moxley to retain.
And to be honest, I would rather see Speedball versus work his way to Takeshita. You know,
Right, and beyond
because
that,
he's such a unique wrestler. He's of the same level of uniqueness that Osprey was. He literally is.
right. Yeah, as for yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Moxley to retain, and
Mm-hmm.
all that shit Quiet Jam mentioned is actually exciting. Will it happen?
See, I mean,
Way to find out.
this is what they should have did, but the greatest thing to come out of this whole Moxley angle of his creative control is we're seeing more of the unfurled great promo work that WWE took for granted so much when he was Ambrose.
Yep.
But now we're seeing him shine. We're seeing several good things here. We're seeing baby faces finally becoming heels potentially with OC and Darby because they're due a heel run.
Yeah.
And I think OC would benefit from being a heel as much as I think Darby Allin would benefit as being a heel. And can you imagine if Sting is at this pay-per-view and comes out after
Oh,
Darby's turned heel,
gosh.
and you see Sting get beaten down and bludgeoned by the Death Riders as the last image on that pay-per-view? Now that would be great. That's the bonus if you go Darby. With OC, Jesus, how many more times do I need to see the Dark Order beaten up? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
Moxley to retain, and we'll have to see if the good stuff happens. Oh crap! I accidentally closed out of one of these things here. That was the poster for it. I shouldn't have did that, but just hold on out. There we go. There's our ending image. Oh, and by the way, Mariah May's gonna have officially celebrate her title win because Mina Shirakawa's gonna come back. So
No, is that
yeah.
is that the pre-show?
No, I think this is gonna be on the main show for some
Okay,
bright
well that's
reasons.
gonna be
Because
like
he loves dragging his feet, you know.
yeah,
Kinda
that's
like
gonna be
what-
sponsored by the American Dairy Association.
Boobies.
Yeah.
But, you know, aside from a handful of things that seem to be more exciting thanks to Quiet Jam's commentary, I don't know about this pay-per-view. Oh shit, I forgot to read Jesse's predictions. Okay, same order as the card. Lightning round for Jesse's predictions. QT Marshall, MJF, Adam Page, The Outrunners, Mercedes Moné, Bobby Lashley by DQ, Jack Perry, Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita, and John Moxley. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think this will be a bad pay-per-view, but it certainly doesn't leave much to be excited given the current state of this product. There needs some serious shock to the systems, by the way, to get us back on track. Oh, man. Will we see that? I don't know. I'd like to think so. But shit like this gives me second thoughts about, well, you know, buying the pay-per-view. Oh, don't worry, there are other ways to watch. I've been around long enough to realize that. But shit, man, I don't know.
I mean, this build should have been good enough to make people buy the pay-per-view. In this case, the reason I say this Full Gear is going to be the weakest of their series of Full Gears is because the good stuff that should have been omnipresent in the whole build is only going to be concentrated in what happens in the pay-per-view. So they kind of did reverse building here. They reverse builded this thing to hope that the Moxley stuff would be effective, but it wasn't. It was outside of what we saw from the Moxley promo work and vignette, and maybe in the ring. I'm not saying everyone in the group didn't do their job; they did, but it was not as effective as it could have been. So that's why it's kind of. I feel like this is going to be the first greatly diminished effective Full Gear of the series.
And people wonder why the ratings are where they are right now.
Well, I mean, they're going to be doubling their viewership starting in January on Max, so there is good coming. It's just going to
Yeah.
take time.
Yeah, but even then, what then if the product itself doesn't get some serious revamping?
Well,
Well,
it's not a question of revamping. It's just that this build didn't go. I mean, every build of every one of their successful pay-per-view series, from Revolution to Full Gear to All In, All Out, they've all been perfect. They've been absolutely perfect. At least in regards to this year, every one of their major pay-per-views have been knocking it out of the park 10 times over. But this time, things didn't work out. I mean, they only have one great match build, and this has been indicative of a few of their pay-per-views following this one have not had, the builds go as good as we expected to. So they're
well,
kind of showing their age here, and they're kind of like, we, they're, sometimes the best things don't work out right. So there you go.
whatever happens, happens. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Quiet Jam. Thank Jesse for sending it in. Thanks, Sheepster, for chatting with his predictions. Next AEW pay-per-view will be World's End, but we won't be doing that until
At World's End. At World's End.
whatever. We still got about, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks away from when we're going to cover that.
So that means we're in December. We'll see Tony Khan take another Meltzer driver, and
Well, no.
Shane will have the company
Not
with Moxley.
even close.
That would be funny.
No. But
That would be funny.
in the meantime, though, we do have another stop on the road in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada for War Games, which we'll
Oh
be
God.
doing next week around this time. So yeah, we've got that, and then I believe the week after that we've got to cover NXT Deadline.
Oh God.
It's not certain if we're going to do Saturday night's main event or not, because that's after Deadline.
That's a TV. That's a TV thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's more of a special one, so you don't really
No,
see
it's
it often.
it's them trying to do exactly what AEW did with Battle of the Belts, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I guess
It's a
Shane-
Battle of the Belts kind of mock-up,
Well, we'll
similar
see.
thing.
We'll see as we get closer to there. But still,
Or in the case of Dean, a Battle of the Belch.
Yeah,
So there you go.
just count on War Games and Deadline before we get to World's End.
More war games than Deadline.
If
more
nothing,
and more
yeah,
war games.
but we'll get to that when we get to that. So until next time, take care of yourself and each